Yo, what's up, you guys? Astro here, and I'm bringing you guys a tutorial on Maya on how to texture. So, what we're gonna make today is a book. So, just follow along. If you're lost, rewind the video, pause if you need. But here we go. Alright, we're gonna want to get a poly, and if your poly didn't just pop up like this when you clicked it, what you're gonna want to do is go to Create Polygon Primitives and click these parallel lines up here. If your poly didn't just pop up, it's because this is checked on. Check it off, so whatever you click just pops up in your scene. So make sure that is off. So let's get started. Once you create your poly, what you're gonna want to do is scale this up. Scale it into like a book shape. I'm not gonna really stress the modeling right now because I'm just showing you guys how to texture. Alright, we have our book shape. What we're gonna want to do is make a new Lambert, meaning we're gonna go to assign new material, Lambert, and this is the color of our object. Change color, blue, alright, whatever, green, whatever. Alright, you see our color of our object is green. Well, now it changed, right? Whatever. Our color of our object is white. We're gonna name this book texture because this is gonna be the texture of our book. So now, what we're gonna want to do, go to object mode. If you're not in object mode, I already am. So we're gonna want to go to edit UVs, delete UVs, and if you did that right, your object will be highlighted like this. Once it is, you're gonna want to go to UV texture editor, and you're gonna see that this is the color of your object. This is basically the texture that your object has now. So we can just turn this off by deleting the UVs. By clicking delete UVs, we deleted the layout we already had. So if I press Z to undo, this is what our thing looked like before we deleted the UVs. But as you can see, our object is not all squares. They're not. We don't have 6 squares. We have about all rectangles basically. So in here they should all be whatever shape that we have in our scene. So that's why we deleted the UVs. So once we delete the UVs, we're going to want to go to face mode. We're going to click this. We're going to want to go to create UVs, planar mapping. Click the square here to bring up properties. And this is on the X axis, no, Y. Alright, this is on the Y axis. So click apply, then project. And then we're going to want to go back into face mode. And then you see it pops up here. We're going to want to right click and go to UV. We're going to select all of this, hit W on the keyboard for your move tool, and we're going to just move this out the way right now. Now that we move that out the way, we're going to want to do that for every side on here. So we're going to click this side next, create UVs, planar mapping, and that should be on the X axis. So project, face, click the face, UV, select, hit W, move this out the way. We're going to want to do this for every side. So I'm just going to fast forward this, and then when I'm done laying all these out, then I'll be back.
When you wanna tell the world how much you love someone, how much you love someone, how much you love. When you wanna tell the world how much you love someone, how
Okay, now that we have everything separated, what we're gonna want to do is click all the faces to make sure everything is in our UV texture editor. Alright, so in UV texture editor, we're gonna want to go back to object mode. Alright, then we're gonna go to edge on a UV texture editor. Right click and drag your mouse up for edge. And then we're gonna see if everything's lined up properly. So we're gonna hit here. These two edges should be exactly the same, but they're not. So we're gonna have to flip this. See how this is lighted up? So we're gonna have to flip this. We're gonna go to UV, select this, and we're gonna click this right here to flip it down or up, and we need to flip it up. So edge. See, you change the direction of it. So yeah. So alright, after we flip these, this is gonna be kind of complicated for you guys if you're just starting, because it's complicated for me now. What you're gonna want to do is basically treat this as a puzzle. You're gonna want to puzzle these pieces together. So these are just to flip. This is to rotate and all that other stuff. And this is to flip. This is really getting complicated for me. And at first this is gonna be hard, but after you get it, then it'll just come to you, like you just know what to do. But you're gonna have to play with this a couple of times before you get it. That's for sure. Okay, so alright, so you go to sides, see something. Left side, right side. Right, this should be on the bottom of this. So you just see, alright, see? These edges have to be parallel, like line up to each other, like this. You see? And this one, this should be flipped. Alright, so wait. Wait. Alright, this is the top. Alright. It's the top, bottom, left, right, bottom, This should be down here. Flip this. Alright, this should be flipped. Alright, so we have everything set out perfectly. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to scale this so it can line up with this like a puzzle. Like, it can't fit if it's this big. Just like puzzle these together. Try to get these as close as possible as you can. Alright, so this is good. Alright. Everything's pretty much set out except these. They just had to be different. So once you set these up, what you're going to want to do is select the edge, and then you're going to want to hit this tool. This tool's move and sew. I think that's what it's called, move and sew. So it's basically going to tie these edges together. That's why we have to get these edges lined up. See, now our thing is lined up. So if you, it's just in 2D. So if you were to fold this, it looks like a pizza box. If you look at it closely, if you were to fold this, it'd come out to this shape. So you're gonna want to select UVs again. Select this, and you're gonna want to scale this down so it can fit into this box. So now that it fit into our box where our texture is, and remember our color is white. So basically that's what our texture is as of right now. So you're gonna want to have these highlighted, have these UVs highlighted, and you're gonna want to go to polygons, UV snapshot. And you're gonna want to hit browse and save this in a spot on your computer. I'm gonna save this in the folder I made for this tutorial, so texture and tutorial. And I'm gonna name this book UVs. And save this. But Maya hasn't saved it. You just told Maya where to save it, so you're gonna want to hit OK. You could put this up to 1080. A lot of people use 1080. Oh snap, 1080 for high quality. But since we're not gonna go into that much detail with this, it's just a tutorial on how to get you guys the feel of texturing. We're just gonna use 512. It's good enough. Make sure both of these are 512, so when we open this in Photoshop, it can be a square. You're gonna understand once we open Photoshop. So make both of these 512 and hit OK. So we hit OK, we can exit this out. Bring down Maya and go into Photoshop and open the UVs we just saved. Oh, and I forgot. Sorry about that. So when we save our UVs, make sure you save them as PNG. So I forgot to say that, so I'm sorry about that. Where did I save this? Alright, so texture. Alright, so book UVs as a PNG. You're gonna go down, you're gonna feel this. If we did not save this as a PNG, what Maya would have done, it would have basically done this. It would have kept our picture like this, black, and with our UVs as one picture. So I save it as a PNG. Maya separated the UVs into just a picture itself and nothing else. So we just make a new layer and shade it black just so we can see. What we're gonna want to do is go into Google and look for book texture. So book side texture, far sides, images. So this is good. No, you just copy image or save it, whatever. I like copying, so I won't be saving a whole bunch of stuff on my computer. Control V or Command V, paste, and the sides of our book. So go back into Maya. The sides of our book are basically this, this, and this. 3 of them. So this is the top. Am I missing one? What? Wait. There should be 4. Alright, I'm not missing one. Oh! I missed it on here. So we're gonna want to just texture this as a book will look. So scale this down, because the bigger it is, the more weird it'll look. Don't texture it too low though. I mean, don't scale it too low. Alright, I messed that up. Alright, so we're just going to fit this where our book should be. So in a book, the pages show on the bottom. So we're gonna want to make sure our pages show like that. Grab this and do this for the other 2 sides. And sorry for if I'm confusing you guys. I'm a beginner at this too. So, and not only this, I'm a beginner at giving tutorials, period. So, not even the texturing itself. Alright, so our book pages are laid out, the pages that show. So what we're going to want to do, back into Google, and we're going to want to look for a book cover texture. So this is good enough. Copy this back in Photoshop and paste. And we're going to want to, this is the front of our book right here. So we're going to want to get this picture, and it's basically perfectly lined up already. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's perfectly lined up, so I don't have to cut anything. Wait, let me stretch this out though, just a little. Alright, so yeah, I don't have to cut anything. So for that, so what we're gonna want to do, since that's basically perfectly lined up, we're just gonna cut the rest of this out and delete this right here. Oh wait, scale this up. Texturing is basically puzzling everything together. It's like a puzzle. So if you see it as that, texturing will be a lot more easier. And this is the back of our book. So let me delete this bottom. This is the back of our book. this, because this is the side of our book where all the pages are stapled together. So we're gonna want to scale this down to fit this. We can just cut this, because if we scale it like by putting everything in there, it's gonna look weird. Oh, it's not worth it. Are you serious? What's going on? Alright, I'm gonna do this a stupid way. So this is how our book is gonna look. So to make this a little more realistic, I'm gonna merge all the paper layers together, and I'm going to make them a little darker. No, yeah, just a little darker. Alright, so this is what our book is gonna look like. So alright, see, we have to fix this. Alright, whatever. Just leave this like that. Alright, so once we have everything fixed, who's behind this? It's a little more realistic. So, alright, so once we have everything behind this fixed and laid out, we're gonna want to save this as a JPEG. High quality, maximum. We're gonna go back into Maya, and we're gonna, oh god, alright, delete this. Alright, we're gonna go back into our book texture color layer, and we're gonna want to hit this checker pattern box and go to file. Once we go into file, we're gonna hit this folder right here, and we're gonna go into that folder where we saved our JPEG just now. Texturing tut, book UV, JPEG, and open. But what's going on? We did not turn in our texture yet. So this is how our book is gonna look. That's how you texture, ladies and gentlemen. And I kind of messed up here because you can see this black right here. So yeah, I left out a gap. So that's how you texture. The basics of texturing. Render this. That's how you texture. My name's Rockets, and I'll be bringing you guys more tutorials on my Photoshop, After Effects, mainly every single program you can think of later on in our journey, our YouTube journey. So please like, comment, rate. Well, like, don't dislike. Nah, I'm just kidding, but rate, comment, subscribe, whatever. I don't care. Peace out.